Taylor Swift praises a cover of Look What You Made Me Do, but fans think there is more to it. Meanwhile, Doja Cat addresses hashtag Doja Cat is over party, which was trending over the weekend, as Khloe Kardashian causes a stir debuting a drastic new look. Plus, an adorable video of Chicago West and Stormy. It will melt your heart. This is ET Live at Home. I'm Denny Directo. It is Tuesday after a long weekend, and Melicia Johnson is with me. Mel, for today's vibe check.
Hello.
Highlight of your weekend. What was it?
Oh, the food.
Okay.
The food. Okay, so because we're in quarantine, I haven't been hitting the gym as much as usual.
Right.
So I have been keeping note of what I'm eating. But this weekend,
You just said whatever.
no limits. And it was so wonderful. Ribs, cake,
Yes.
burgers. I just ate whatever I wanted to, and I didn't feel guilty about it, which was
You
wonderful.
shouldn't feel guilty at all. Okay, be kind to yourself. Eat the thing that you want to eat. I had plenty of all that too, trust me.
Yes.
Another treat we got over the weekend, though, is a very bluesy and I would say dark rendition of Taylor Swift's Look What You Made Me Do. It happened over the credits of BBC's Killing Eve with Sandra Oh over the weekend. And Taylor herself praised the song. She said she was very stoked to hear it. But in true Taylor Swift fashion, anything that happens in her orbit or her world, fans are quick to start throwing out theories. What could this mean? And they're thinking there is a lot more to this song than just meets the ears.
Don't like you. I was smarter, I got harder in the nick of time. Honey rose up from the dead, I do it all the time. Look what you made me do. Look what you just made me do.
Look, if you're a fan of conspiracy theories like I am, get into this because there's a lot to break down. And I give credit, as you said, to the Swifties. They really dug deep to see if Taylor is behind this song.
Yeah.
And they have a lot of receipts. One of them is that the fans think that her brother Austin recorded the cover to Look What You Made Me Do. And there's reasons behind this. One is that, so the group behind the so-called Look What You Made Me Do song, it's called Jack Leopards and the Dolphin Club. Mind you, Denny and everyone watching, there's no such thing as this band. It's a made-up band.
Yeah. Or at least as far as we know, there's only this one song they've ever put out. Yeah.
Right. And the Swifties pulled out some old receipts. Austin's old Twitter name, Taylor Swift's brother, his old Twitter name used to be the Dolphin Club.
Hey, come on now.
That's only one receipt, though, Denny. We have more, okay? So the producers of the Jack Leopards cover are listed as Jack Antonoff, who was a frequent Taylor Swift collaborator, right? And then Taylor's pseudonym, she goes by Nils when she records or writes music for other artists. She went by Nils when she co-wrote her ex Calvin Harris's track with Rihanna.
Yes.
This Is What You Came For. And you can see on the credits of this version of Look What You Made Me Do, Nils.
The same name.
Right there. So I don't know. I'm thinking this theory is on point.
Maybe she's more a part of it than we actually think.
So people were piecing all of this together. And the great part about this is if this theory is true, that means that Taylor Swift is not allowing any coins to go into Scooter Braun's pockets.
And that's what it is, right? Everyone's kind of drawing connections to the whole ongoing battle between Taylor and her former label, Big Machine Records, which, of course, Scott Borchetta sold to Scooter Braun. And with that, her master recordings. And so she had said that after all of that drama went down, that she would eventually re-record all of her previous tracks so that she can own them solely herself. And so people think that maybe this is a sign of her starting to do that, right? And I think people expected maybe it would be her to record it, but why not have her brother do a cover of it,
Right.
Yeah.
It's a literal Look What You Made Me Do to Scooter Braun. Like a literal Look What You Made Me Do. And I remember when all of this happened last summer, Taylor described it as the worst case scenario. Yeah. And looking into it, it is for her. She lost the rights to majority of her songs, right?
Of her masters, yeah.
Right, the masters. But I think that there's a silver lining in this because, one of the silver linings is that, of course, artists coming up, they've learned from her past and what she went through. But another is that we're seeing how powerful and creative and strong Taylor is throughout all of this adversity. She has just continued to find a way to rise and rise and rise and get through all these curves and obstacles. And I'm here for it. I'm with the Swifties right now, for sure.
You know, I'm often with the Swifties. I'm always like, okay, because when they lay it out, when all the receipts are down, I'm like, okay, wow, that makes sense to me, including this situation in particular. You know, sometimes it's not what you think because, of course, remember the Swifties were quick to think, oh, my God, is Taylor Swift about to collaborate with Katy Perry on her new single Daisies because she was wearing that Daisies sweater the day that the single was announced? Of course, that did not end up happening. So you have to take everything with a grain of salt. But I will say the fact that, like, people kind of tracked down the Dolphin Club and tried to figure out who and what that was, and it kind of all signs pointed to her brother Austin. It makes you think a little bit, right?
Yeah.
And on top of that, like, you know, as much as Taylor is a crusade for young women a crusader, I should say, for young women in the business, you know, it's going to take a long time for her to re-record all those albums, because Lover is the first album that she produced, and she owns herself as part of her new label. And so why not get a little creative if this is in fact true by enlisting some friends to do some covers for you of some of your tracks? And I gotta say, if you listen to it in the context of Kill and Need, it is perfect. Like, it is such a good cover.
Right. Well, one thing is for sure, I wonder what Scott is doing right now, or Scooter, like what's going through their head, you know, when they hear these conspiracy theories. Are they like, Taylor, like, really? Like, she found a way to get around this? Like, I just wonder what they are thinking about it.
They're probably like, another day, another Taylor Swift headline. Like, I'm
you
gonna
cannot
hope that
stop her. She's unstoppable.
That, and I'm hoping that they're busy enough that they're not even paying it any mind, any attention.
Like, we're in quarantine. That's why, first of all, I think everybody had so much. Well, the Swifties always make the time, but people had time to actually dig down this rabbit hole. So I'm sure they see it, Denny.
They got the time, and I'm here for the entertainment. So we'll play along. We'll play along. We'll see what it actually means. But in the meantime, one thing's for sure: she's very stoked and very happy about the cover. It's amazing. Someone who's having a tougher time over the weekend is Doja Cat. So over the weekend, I feel like every week it's a different artist or a different celebrity that the hashtag Doja Cat is over party starts to trend, right? So Doja's the latest artist. The rapper singer actually came under fire after she was accused of participating in racist video chats. And also people called her out for a song she wrote in 2015, which apparently, was mocking victims of police brutality. So as you can imagine, this caused a lot of controversy, a lot of alleged clips of her in these racist video chats also surfaced online. Something that we didn't hear about from her, at least, until the very end of the weekend, where she did address and apologize head on, but she also denied that she ever personally made racist remarks in these video chats, but did acknowledge that she was a part of them. Let's start with her apology tour. Did you feel like that was genuine, and what was your reaction when you saw this news story to bubble up, Melicia?
I was late to the news. I actually had a friend bug me about it. There's so much that I want to say about this. First of all, I don't want to say her apology was ingenuine. Right. Do I think it only happened because she has no choice at this point? Yes. She didn't really say much either. That I saw a lot of the comments under her apology, and people weren't having it. At this point, I think people have a very short fuse when it comes to anything dealing with racism nowadays.
I agree.
And unfortunately, DOJA, she has some things in her past that she just did not clean up. And I will say this. What I've learned throughout this whole scenario is that every entertainer is not a role model. And DOJA has said that. She says, I'm not a role model. Everything I do, young people don't follow behind me. But I will say that the price of fame nowadays requires you to have a moral compass. I'm not sure what DOJA was going through in her past. Yeah. She is half Black. She's half South African. She's a Black woman. I'm not sure if she had an identity crisis growing up or whatever. She was raised by her mother that caused her to go down certain routes to seek validation or some entertainment. Who knows? But the apology, it didn't do anything for me, if I'm to be honest with you.
Well, I will say it's something that she also doubled down on in an apology video through Instagram Live that she posted last night, where she did again acknowledge and apologize if it offended or hurt anybody, but also tried to defend herself. Let's take a look.
All of my young fans, you know, people who look up to me, you know, my behavior isn't something that always needs to be followed. I'm not perfect. But then at the end of the day, I shouldn't be doing dumb. But also I need to stand up for myself.
So as you put it, you know, and because again, there's two claims here. It's one claim that she is participating in these racist video chats, and then of course about this 2015 song, which people felt was tone deaf. And she defended that too. She said, you know, this is not about my own personal experience. It was her trying to take back that term.
But see, I'm sorry to interrupt you, Denny. Okay. That part confused me because the term she's talking about is didn't do nothing. And that's what allegedly some white supremacist group, they use that term to basically mock parents or family members of victims of police brutality, saying that their kid didn't do nothing or whatever. I don't see how that's not like using the N-word. I don't see how that term can be used towards you. You get what I'm saying? Like you can't, do you call somebody a didn't do nothing? Like you get what I'm saying? So her saying she was taking that term back because she was called that, it just didn't make sense.
And see, this is where I want to give her a little bit of the benefit of the doubt in the sense that when DOJA came on the scene, she was very much almost a parody artist.
Yes.
Like, you remember Moo? Where she's singing about cows and like, you know what I mean? She was a meme. She was a viral sensation, and that's kind of how she got her career started. So I wonder if that's what she meant, is that it was more of like a parody, which I mean,
but that's still inappropriate.
Exactly. I was going to say, I think there's a plenty of people who could still make the argument that that's still not okay. And I want to say that I totally agree with you that in this age right now, and especially when we're out quarantine and people have the time to dig that stuff up and it will come up, there's just a lower tolerance for it. And so you just have to accept that responsibility and apologize. And because I will say, I like to give people a chance to explain themselves, to apologize and grow and learn from it. Here's where things get a little muddy though. It's like, how often do things resurface again that people already apologized for? Jimmy Fallon is experiencing that right now. Just 2 days after Doja Cat is over, party was trending on Twitter. Jimmy Fallon is over. Party was trending on Twitter as well because of a old SNL sketch in 2000 resurfaced where he was doing blackface. He was playing Chris Rock. It's something that has come up before, but again, people were so quick to quickly cancel Jimmy Fallon. And so it's like, where do we draw the line? Like, when do we give people an opportunity to apologize? And when do we accept that and move on? And when do we just, you know, I don't know.
I think that's a tough question because there's no excuse, but people like Jimmy Fallon and, for instance, Kevin Hart, who was under a similar situation when it comes to hosting the Oscars and his past homophobic tweets. We're familiar with those stars, right? Doja Cat is new on the scene, essentially. So we're learning who this woman is, and this tidbit of information is just...
It's startling. It's like...
It is. You're just, I mean, you're figuring out if this is someone that you want to continue to support. You know, Stay So just hit #1 in the US and #2 in the UK. So therefore, she's getting to this new level of fame that she's never been at. And people want to know, should I buy her music? Is it someone I should support? And I will say that I don't know. You know, the entertainment industry is very quick to forgive. But the way we are nowadays, I'm not sure if the Black community is going to let this slide for too long, you know, or I don't know how long it's going to take for her to redeem herself.
Isn't it so crazy to think just how quickly a star rises, a star falls? And I think
that's why you got to be careful.
You just got to be careful. And like, I feel like history has a way of repeating itself too. And I feel like this is not going to be the last that she's going to have to address this situation. I think it's up to people to decide whether or not they want to cancel her or not the people at large, not the internet. Like, it's like, if you want to support this artist or not, that is up to you, right? But I do feel like she's gonna have to do a lot of work to kind of come back after.
Right. That's what I was gonna say. I don't agree with the cancel culture because look back in your past, people. I'm pretty sure if you were on this pedestal, someone can find something about you to ruin your career for the moment.
And the public can be really savage and unforgiving sometimes, okay?
Yeah.
And in fact, someone who kind of experienced that themselves also over the weekend was Khloe Kardashian. So Khloe posted a Instagram with a new look, I will say. And it was pretty drastic. It got a lot of people talking, and I've seen different headlines. I've been looking into this story, and everyone's commenting about her hair transformation. Some people are claiming the photo is photoshopped. I think we can all agree that she looks unrecognizable. What was your reaction when you saw this photo?
I didn't recognize her at first.
I didn't, yeah.
But that's not unusual for a Kardashian photo at times. No shade, not that much shade, but I didn't recognize her. She was very tan, very bronze. Some people said she looked like Denise Richards.
Yeah.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
But I did see a lot of people commenting on the hair situation, and I wanted to touch on that. They were upset that it seems as if she got her hair done during quarantine. But I do want to note that I don't think she did. People are saying that this is a throwback photo. Even the hairstylist posted the photo on their page and said that this is an old look. And I think it is, because the most recent video she posted running with True, she was exercising. She had bleach blonde hair. So I think this is an older photo, but I will agree, it doesn't.
Either way, like I'm staring at you know what? I would make the argument because there's 3 photos in this slide, right? Like in the carousel. The other 2, I'm like, yeah, that looks like Khloe Kardashian. But for some reason, this first one is tripping me up. And I mean, it's not up to me to say like, oh, this is photoshopped or not. But I will say that if you zoom in closely on the necklace, half the chain's missing. So I'm like, did they airbrush that out?
You pointed that out. Yeah, I didn't notice that. And you have good eyes for that. I was trying to see exactly what is photoshopped. I mean, of course you can clean up the skin a bit, but other than that, what did she Photoshop?
I feel like a lot of people are no stranger to Facetune. I do it myself. And sometimes you get a little too crazy on it.
Too happy with
sometimes you go over a little too much. It's like, oh,
But do you ever take pictures that don't look like you?
No, very rarely. I don't know. Like
sometimes you're like, that's me.
Right. Me? But then if you saw that though, if you were looking at that photo,
you wouldn't post
like,
it. Right.
Would you post it?
No, I wouldn't. That's a good point. Yeah.
But you know what? I'm like, live your truth, like do your thing, girl, because it's like we're either judging them for heavily face tuning, Photoshop, whatever you want to say to their photos, or we're calling them out when they're makeup free, like Kylie when she was spotted out,
which is so unfair.
So it's just like let them live.
Right. Tristan likes the photo. I will say that.
Oh, yeah.
He commented, "Daddy, yes, I did." I was like, okay.
Someone who approves is her ex, Tristan.
Yes.
He left a little, I would call that a flirty comment. So he apparently doesn't mind that she looks a little different.
Right.
I'm like, if this is what you look like now, girl, good for you. But I think people were just like not expecting it, because when you look at her feed, it doesn't look like her. I think it's fair to say she looks a little different. But you know what? As long as she's happy.
As long as she's happy.
Let's catch up with the rest of the Kardashians quickly. Kourtney Kardashian and her kids have, quote, escaped to Lake Powell in Utah, her and their kids, and it looks like ex-Scott Disick, their baby daddy, has also joined them. He also posted a bunch of really cute pics with his kids, and it looks like the same background. This is all going down on Instagram and on their stories. This, of course, comes earlier this month after ET learned that Scott actually checked himself into a rehab facility. Now, at the time, a source had told ET that both Kourtney and his current girlfriend, Sophia, were really instrumental and influenced his decision to go seek help. So looks all in well that the family's spending time together. It's unclear if Sophia is there with them, but I think this is a good sign for Kourtney and Scott's relationship, that he's there with them and with the kids and spending quality time with them, because I feel like the whole point of him getting help is so that he's healthy for his family. Right.
Family is the main priority here. Right. And when they broke up in 2015, I just love seeing anytime they come together, because it just shows how powerful co-parenting can be when it's done right, when there's truly love there, even if you're not together. And it's Scott's birthday today. So
that's right.
He's 37. I'm thinking maybe this was a birthday getaway. Go away to the desert and have a good time.
Which, obviously there's so much history with Scott and Courtney, and Scott, of course, is the father of their 3 kids. So he's always going to be a part of this family. But I feel like the Kardashian Jenners have really, taken him in as their own, and they have for years. Kris just wished him a happy birthday as well. And I think Scott's really lucky to have them behind him. Of course, he lost both his parents, and he's really alone. He's by himself,
Right.
So to be part of this family, I think is a good thing for him.
Yeah, I love it. I love seeing them together.
So cute. I also love seeing the kids together.
Me too.
I think we just got an adorable video courtesy of Kylie of Chicago, Kim's daughter, just complimenting Stormi's hair. Take a look.
I like your hair. Thank you.
There's something about these little kids when they interact like this. I'm just like, oh,
like little grown people, right?
Exactly.
I like your hair. Thank you.
Thank you. Like they don't even know what's going on, and they're having that genuine toddler interaction.
Right.
They're
just happy to be together.
That's so cute.
The cutest video. I've watched it 10 million times.
It's so amazing.
Honestly.
It's hard to pick who your favorite Kardashian Jenner kid is because they're all so freaking adorable. But it is something that I asked Kendall's fraternal twin, Kirby Jenner. They don't talk about this Jenner, y'all. Kirby Jenner, he is finally stepping out on his own, and he has got his own reality show now. And it's something that both his sister Kendall and momager Kris have approved because they both serve as executive producers.
Hi, my name's Kirby Jenner. Everyone in my family has already had their own reality shows. So when this network asked if I wanted to do my own show, I was like, I don't know. I hadn't really thought about it. But then my mom said yes.
It's a lot different than Keeping Up with the Kardashians in the sense that it's going to actually be on Quibi and not E, but it is a riot, and I got to sit down with Kirby to talk about his famous family and finally stepping into the spotlight. Take a look. Let's get into your family. Your fraternal twin, actually, Kendall, is an executive producer on the show, right? Yeah. What's it like having your sister as your boss?
Well, I never look at her as a boss. I feel like we're all on the same level playing field. But yeah, having Kendall and my mom on as executive producers has been fantastic. My mom has so much experience producing reality television. She's the best at it. And, she's also kind of the executive producer of my life, she's the executive producer of our household, and she executive produces all of my meals and my travel. I mean, she's the best.
Let me tell you, like I said, we can't choose our favorite Kardashian Jenner kid, but I think Kirby is quickly in the running for my favorite. That was probably easily one of my favorite interviews.
Look, I know some people were probably like, Kirby, wait, what? They have confused in your intro. This is hilarious. He's 24 years old. He's a performance artist. And basically, he got famous from doing this off of Instagram parody account. Yeah. He's been doing it for 5 years. Now he has a show, which is just mind-blowing.
And it is star-studded. There are so many cameos in it. I've seen several episodes now. And yeah, thank you for explaining it. Obviously he is playing a character, something that I clearly played along with, but this is all based on
everybody is, though.
Everyone is.
Everybody's playing along.
I mean, you'll find out in the full interview on etonline.com, but I was getting him to spill the family tea, even though he's a character. So, just to play along with it, enjoy it, because, man, it is a really entertaining show on Quibi. You guys got to check it out.
I love how he calls Kris mom as well. And the way he just talks about it, you really would think he is a part of the family.
Exactly. Like I mentioned, that interview is going to be up on etonline.com, so check it out when you guys can. Melicia, not too bad for the first day after a long weekend.
I know.
Okay.
Have to take the dust off a little bit.
I feel you on that. Well, thank you guys so much for watching. We'll be back the whole rest of this week with some brand new episodes of ET Live at Home. So until then, we'll see ya.
Bye, guys.